We are recording. Things have started. The official bits are about to begin. So please, everybody, take a seat. I am the concierge, so I am allowed to do that. Anyway, so Mayor Pavey.
First of all, I want to welcome everybody, especially those who are new to the community as of the last couple of days. So welcome. I want you guys to understand that today is a culmination of basically 13 years. 13 years ago, we made a transition, and that transition was to kind of quit being what we traditionally had been and be different. That started with the silly little campaign, and it was simply an RE flipped upside down, and then it said imagine. And this community nearly shot that young new mayor because they thought it was the craziest idea in the world. He had put RE, flipped it upside down, and put imagine. And at the time, people came to me and said, why did you do that? That's nuts. I mean, they think it's stupid. And I said, because it allows them to be a little bit different, think a little bit different, and hopefully think a little bit more creatively. A few years later, that grew into what we called the RE campaign, which was a series of words that started with RE. And it was reimagine, reinvest, and rediscover. And so what we did and what we felt we did was we were telling people that in order to continue, in order to survive, we had to think differently than we had ever thought before. That campaign and the effort of this community in 2016 got our community awarded kind of the MVP of the state of Indiana, which was unheard of. We were not favored, and we were third from the bottom of the largest communities. So everything was stacked against us, but winning that one award gave the community a confidence to do things different. And for me, I felt like it gave them the permission to, for the first time really, to say, you're as good as anybody else. And it's okay to dream and think bigger than you've always traditionally thought. And so that's kind of what today is for me, it's a really proud moment, kind of as a proud parent, because I'm watching the community go out and do something that it's never done before. Kind of an even cooler part of this journey is the fact that Dustin is leading this charge. And really all we're doing as a city is incubating his dream. And the crazier thought of this whole thing is Dustin's not from our community. So in a small rural Indiana community, for the most part, we root for our own and we're scared to death of somebody new. But he, through his uncle, saw what we were doing, embraced it, and said, I want to be a part of it, came here, shared his dream, and the community said, we want to be a part of that dream. And so today is a thank you to Dustin for taking that chance. It's a thank you to the community for embracing him and being here. And it's a thank you for you guys to take a chance on something completely new and foreign to all of us. So please forgive me if I know nothing about chocolate except for eating it, but that's the truth. And so anyway, thank you for coming out. Now, my part is, they say any good politician gets in front of the people and then they don't leave. So I've got to do a couple more things. One of the things that was asked of us, which we gladly did, was to do a proclamation. And a lot of times you look back and events happen. And at that time you look at them and you go, that was cool. But it's really not a milestone that you recognize. You just kind of go on and then you look back and say, there it was. That's the pivot point. That's where we changed. My hope is that we see today, and we recognize today, and we honor today. So we have offered a proclamation, whereas the first annual Midwest Craft Chocolate Festival will be held in the city of Rushville, Indiana from November 22nd to November 23rd, 2024, and whereas the city of Rushville is honored to host this two-day event dedicated to artistry, sustainability, and the tradition of craft chocolate, bringing together chocolate makers, chocolatiers, artisans, educators, cacao farmers, new word for me, and chocolate enthusiasts from around the world. And whereas this festival uniquely celebrates chocolate's journey from the farm to the bar, bridging agricultural heritage of Rushville with the global traditions of the cacao cultivation, fostering a greater understanding of the connection between the Midwest, farming communities, and cacao growing regions worldwide. Whereas this event will bring numerous visitors to Rushville, showcasing our city's vibrant community and historic downtown, supporting local businesses and providing educational opportunities that deepen our commitment to agriculture, sustainability, and cultural exchange. Whereas the success of this inaugural festivity would not be possible without the dedicated contributions and enthusiastic support of the Rushville community, whose spirit of hospitality, collaboration, and volunteerism has been instrumental in bringing this unique event to life and creating a welcoming environment for the participants and visitors. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Mike Pavey, do hereby proclaim November 22nd, 23rd, 2024 as Midwest Craft Chocolate Festival Days. In the city of Rushville, I encourage all citizens to join the celebration of the craft, community, and culture as we honor the spirit of collaboration and community support that defines our city. So thank you. Now I'm going to ask everybody a question. Who do I give this to? All right, Dustin. Very good. Thank you. Now I've been asked if I would honor a couple of our guests. This first one is the ski to the city of Rushville. And it goes to a person, and we won't say the name. Well, that's going to say it really quickly. Never mind. It's awarded with gratitude to Clay Gordon for his outstanding contributions and unwavering support for building the inaugural Midwest Craft Chocolate Festival. His commitment to the success of the event has paved way for a brighter future in both our town and in the craft chocolate community. So I present this key to the city to Clay Gordon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
An unexpected pleasure.
You won't forget us even if you want to.
Now I have to explain this to TSA.
Yeah, you get lucky because after this I'm done. This next key to the city is to Lila Carvajal. In honor of Lila Carvajal's generous support, boundless enthusiasm, and inspiring vision, which made the inaugural Midwest Craft Chocolate Festival possible, her dedication and creativity have been invaluable to our town and to the craft chocolate community. This one. And at this point, I will turn it back over to Clay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They say it's important when you're giving presentations never to apologize. That's the first thing that you do. However, I do want to say this morning that Mayor Pavey and I did not coordinate one little bit on our remarks this morning. However, yesterday I did spend time with him and Mike Gardner, making sure I knew how to pronounce everybody's names. And Mayor Pavey came to me this morning and says, "How do you pronounce Lila's name?" So we were able to make sure that we weren't deliberately mispronunciate this morning. But in any event, good morning, everyone. You know who I am now. I don't need to repeat that. But I've been asked to be the chocolate concierge for this weekend. For those of you who do not know me, I've been working in chocolate for over 25 years and have been a fierce advocate for cacao farmers and craft chocolate since the movement began. as a journalist, as a critic, as a judge, and as a consultant. My chocolate life has enabled me to visit cocoa farms around the world, visit chocolate factories from the very smallest to the very largest, and to talk with chocolate lovers of all flavors at events like this one in the chocolate capitals of the world, from Tokyo to Paris, and now here to Rushville. It's an honor and a privilege to be asked to be here today in snowy Rushville, presenting these remarks during the inaugural Midwest Craft Chocolate Festival. I wouldn't be here this morning, and we wouldn't be gathered here if it weren't for Dustin. Dustin and I talked for the first time just about 2 years ago around the Craft Chocolate Challenge when he asked me to be a judge, but it wasn't until the day before yesterday that I met him in person. And I think for me, that is one of the great things about a festival like this. We all know each other, we all know each other's work, but we don't always have an opportunity to meet in person. And that aspect of the community is reflected in the community that we are in. But even before Dustin moved here to Rushville, he shared with me his ideas for this festival. And I said, why Rushville? Right? I'm a big city boy from New York City, and a small town in rural Indiana in the middle of nowhere, right? And being here over the last couple of days, I realized the answer is simple. Why not Rushville? Right? A fact that is echoed in the proclamation from the state of Indiana having to do with nominating Rushville as a city of excellence. Right? So why not Rushville? So I was given a tour of the community center, not yesterday morning, the day before yesterday, by Susanna Smith. For many towns the size of Rushville, the departure of a company like Walmart would have been seen as a negative economic indicator. But community leaders seized hold of that move to make a bold statement about their commitment to the future of Rushville and to its people. From that and other examples, and I want to share one of those examples, a little handwritten note from someone was in the gift bag when I showed up in my room. And it says, this is from Asher, who is a 4th grade student at Rushville Elementary. Asher writes, he didn't know he was writing to me, I assume, right? Welcome to Rush County. We are excited to have you visit in Rush County. We like to go to the playground. I like to go to the playground too. Sure. Although I have not had a chance to go to a playground, except we've got a pretty good playground here in 201 and in the courthouse. I hope you have a chance to see what we have to offer in Rush County. We have a lot of restaurants to go to. Rushville is a great place to explore here. Again, enjoy your visit, Asher. From that example and others, I've learned over the past 2 days that Rushville is not in the middle of nowhere. It is the center of somewhere. It's a community that's embraced this thing we call a chocolate festival, a community that has welcomed me and many of my colleagues into their homes with open arms and open hearts. I count myself fortunate to have been hosted by Laura Selm at the Wilkie House, and that stay has enriched my experience of being here and made my stay here in Rushville that much more special. So cacao is grown in nearly 70 countries by over 15 million farming families. This is a fact about chocolate that will resonate, I think, with many of us, knowing the role that farming has played and continues to play here in Rush County. Chocolate knows no boundaries. It acknowledges no boundaries. Chocolate is one of the world's favorite foods. These 3 facts are reflected in the presence of the exhibitors, not only from all over the United States, but from Canada, Colombia, Honduras, Liberia, and Norway. Every major cocoa producing region in the world is represented here by the hard work, the dedication, the determination of nearly 24 craft chocolate makers, many of whom I have known for years, but many of whom I have met for the first time here in Rushville. We have converged on Rushville to share our passions for chocolate with each of us here and with the people who will be joining us later today. A festival like this one is only realized by the shared vision, the support, and hard work of a large and diverse group of people, dark milk and white chocolate lovers alike. Unfortunately, I can't mention every one of you by name, but I have seen the myriad contributions you are making into each of you. I extend a heartfelt thanks on behalf of Dustin, on behalf of the leadership of Rushville and Rush County, and all those whose work we are celebrating here this weekend. But there are some people I do have to acknowledge by name. First, I do want to recognize the support of title sponsor, Cocoa Supply, and its guiding and driving force, Lila Carvajal. I have had the great good fortune of being able to visit their production facility in Duran and Guayaquil, Ecuador, and impressed with the entire operation and everybody who works for her that I have met. Her early commitment to this festival has supplied a firm foundation for this and future editions of the festival. I also want to acknowledge Mayor Mike Pavey and his team, including Kyle Gardner, who pitched in setting up tables in the 201 building on a snowy Thursday, and who helped me make sure I knew how to correctly pronounce everybody's names. So thanks to Faith Mock of Visit Rush County, Joe Wraiths of the Heart of Rushville, and Sandy Fusner of the Chamber of Commerce, who hosted us graciously this morning for coffee before we came over here. Thanks to the other sponsors of this event. So Yazel Realty, Tim Yazel, Diamond Pet Foods. A quick note, do not feed your pets chocolate. While you may love it, it is not good for your pets. And Citizen State Bank, and particularly Casey Bennett. And with all that said, I want to end with a personal slogan of mine. If you're working with chocolate and you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So everybody, let's all go have fun. And thank you for being here. Fini? Right? What? Are you saying something?
I was prepared.
Okay, no, we're not done. We're not done. We have one more person who's going to. But if you need, that's complete. But we are getting towards the start. It's 12 minutes away. So if you are an exhibitor and you do need to get and do some setup before the morning starts, we won't hold it against you. But right, Mr. Mccane, please conclude our remarks this morning.
Good morning, all. I am John Mccane. I'm the Economic Development Director for Rush County. And, when Dustin first came to Rushville and started talking about the chocolate shop, I can tell you I didn't know anything about being the bar. Since he's been here in February, I was in Medellin, Colombia. I got to try the wares of chocolate in Colombia. And for us, it's very exciting that you're here today. It's a big deal for our community. We like to, we've embraced the term, Clay, that we're leading the way in rural Indiana. And so when you talk about Tokyo and you talk about New York, Rushville fits in well, I think. There's not a nickel's worth of difference. But for us, it's very important that you're here and that hopefully everybody's treating you well and that you're embracing hospitality that I hope we're providing to you. Kyle is one of your guys that if you need anything here in town, he'll be there. I'm easy to find. The mayor's easy to find. We're very blessed that you're here in our community. Enjoy it. Don't wear yourself out. We got young people. We brought a young girl in from Germany just to help you today here in the community. So we have opened our arms and to welcome you. And please know if there's anything we can do, we want to do that. So have a great festival. The inaugural festival is very exciting for our community. We hope it's exciting for you. So at this point, go to your booths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the fun begin.
Absolutely.